Well, hello again. I told you in the last video that my grandson was on his way to the Middle East and I needed to get this dash out of here before he left. So I'm doing bits and pieces. I'll be saving him, I think, what is today, the 18th or something like that of September. I'll be saving all this stuff to be put in the video in the middle of October or shortly thereafter, hopefully. And what we're going to do is remove the dash. I know this has been done in other videos. I just don't think it was detailed enough. So I'm going to do it again. And what you have to do is you have to take your cowling off. You know, you take these screws out all along here like that, and then that cowling will just pull right out. It just pulls right out. Nothing to it. And once you get it out and you get all these screws out, you know, that hold it in, then you have to take, to get the dash out, you have to take this bolt out here, and then you got another one over there in that round hole way over there. Okay? Now there's a fellow on the internet who put up you know, a bunch of still photos on how to remove the dash, and when he started out with these bolts right here, and his were caked up with a whole bunch of real hard stuff, and he had to use a screwdriver and a hammer to kind of break it loose from the bolt so he could get to it. Mine weren't like that. Mine just had that much caulking around it. It's kind of strange, I thought. Now the next two bolts you have to remove, one is located right here. It's up underneath the dash, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And the other one is located on the other side in the exact same spot. There is a bracket right here. It has two bolts, top and bottom, and then there's a nut. The dash sits, make sure I got clarity here, the dash sits on top. So that bolt, that nut has to come out. Okay, in order to finish this job, I'm going to need to get this seat out of here, and we're going to need more light. To better light up the interior while I'm in there, I'm going to use this baby here. It's been in a box for, I guess, since last year sometime. My son bought one for his car, and he bought one for mine. This is an LED deal where it charges. It rotates around. The light rotates around in these little hooks right here, and then it's got a switch on the end, and on the other end is a charge, you know, a little wall wart to charge it with, so you can remove this thing from the two hooks, one on each end. You can take it out of this one here. It's just like a little thing that looks like this, okay? And then it just snaps in. You can remove it. It comes with additional clips that are magnetic, that you can, you know, leave this behind. Just put the hooks around there like that with the magnet and put it on the hood of the car. You can put it on the inside of the roof, whatever. And these things here expand on each end. They're spring loaded on the inside. So I'll be putting it on the other side of the car, pulling it, and then hooking it to right here on both sides of the car. It'll come around and it'll hook right here. And that's how it's done. I have it hooked on both sides just like that, and it kind of swings back and forth once you get it in here. And what I have to do is rotate the LED light. I know it's a little bit hard to see that, but I have to rotate the LED light so it's facing kind of at a downward angle. I'll still have to use the drop light though up underneath the dash. Now the trick here is to not get it so where every time you sit in the seat or where every time you raise up you're bumping your head. Let's turn it on. Well, that looks pretty good. Yowza bowza. Now let me see. I think it may not have a high and low intensity. Yeah, it does. There's your high. There's your low. Now on high, the battery charge lasts about 3 hours. On low, it lasts 6 hours. Tomorrow we'll remove the speedometer cluster, the gauge cluster. We'll unplug the ignition switch. We'll take apart all of this and all that up there. Of course, I'm going to have to take off this over here, and that's just held on with screws. And behind that panel there are some electrical plugs that need to be disconnected. Same thing over here. And everything that plugs into this mess up here, the clock and all that crap, they'll have to be unplugged. The lights, courtesy lights, and I'll have to label each one, and I think there's a on-off switch here or something, I don't know. But anyway, whatever needs to be done, we will get it done. I may not get it done all in one day. I'm going to take my time. We're going to have to take apart the headlight switch, get all this crap off of here as much as we can, and you know, just a fun time. Actually, it's not, considering what we've done already to this car, this is peanuts. Well, it's the next day, and before I go messing around with any wires up underneath that dash, I disconnected both terminals on the battery. The next step is to remove all these screws, much as I can, and this here. I'm going to try to, I don't know, I have another set of another instrument cluster and speedometer. So, I don't know, I'd like to be able to take the whole thing out with that still in there. I think if I do that, I'd have to remove the steering wheel. The reason I don't want to remove the steering wheel is if something happens in this garage, if fire starts or something, I can jump in here and drive this baby right off the lift and right out into the yard and save it. I've decided to go ahead and use the 5 different color wire ties that I have, and you know, when I remove the things from the dash and I pull them out, there's going to be wires on the back. I can bundle them up by color, and then if I run out of the colors, if there's more than 5, I can use like 2, red and white, or blue and white, and then maybe black and white, and then maybe black and blue, which is probably the way I'm going to be before I get this job done. This bar has to be removed, and then I go ahead and take the nut off that's underneath it. Can you see it right there? So let's get the bar off. You gotta do that. You gotta do that by loosening up. Follow it back. Let me see. Where you follow it back till you get to these 2 bolts right here. Well, that's what it looks like once it's off. Piece of cake. Well, of course, that would have been too easy. We don't want things to be easy. No, the bolt keeps going around, 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 around. Won't come off. The nut won't come off that threaded rod. Well, so what else is new, right? Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We'll take the bolts off the bottom right here. We'll take those 2 off right there. To heck with it. All this other stuff I've been tearing apart was just screws. Screw, you know, just find a screw, take it out with a Phillips screwdriver. Nothing to it. Well, that loosened it up. I mean, just a tad. At least it's moving a little bit now. And I think next are these 2 bolts right here. This one on this funny looking horseshoe looking thing here. And that one. We'll take out that bolt right there. And this one right here. And I think things will get really loose after that. Again, they're 1/2 inch. Well, we're making some progress. This is loose. I don't think I need to disconnect anything more to get the dash out. But this thing here, I'd like to get it out of my way. And these knobs on these sliders are, you know, they're in the way. So how do you get these knobs off? Well, it's pretty easy, really. Take a Phillips screwdriver, and in the side of each one, on the flat side, is a Phillips screw. You just unscrew it. And the knob, as you can see, the knob gets loose and comes right off. So I'll take all 4 of these off. Oh, and once those knobs came off, the thing just fell right down by itself. Now all I got to do is disconnect these. I got a red to red, green to green, and then I got this here. I'll just bundle them together with a wire tie. I'll tell you what, boys and girls, there is more to removing this dash than meets the eye. Let me shove all these back here now. I was having a little problem getting this cluster out. I think what I need to do is remove the speedometer cable. Maybe that'll help, huh? Alright, the last thing I did was go ahead and take out this thing here. It's really, really rusty. I've got to get it in the evapor rust. First one side, then turn it around, put it in the other side. This thing right here, just held in with clips. See it? They just push right through these holes right here. There's 3 holes. And of course this one only has 2 clips. How does it? Anyway, and then after you get the clips in or out, you just pull it out gently. Don't bend it. Just, you know, get something behind it and kind of work it out. Then you just got, it's supposed to be 3 of these Phillips screws, and again, there's only 2. So, so we'll pick it up in the next video. So until next time, this is John.